The pillows are fluffed thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at first criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Oh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh please, the puppies need me. Oh please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.
Good morning, Sofa Squad. How is everybody doing? Hello, 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 hello. What is up? What is up? I hope everybody's doing well. Let me know. Thank you, Giggles Mama, for that number one. I appreciate you. Thank you, Ginger, for being here. Welcome to the Mod Sofa Squad. Everybody, welcome. Everybody, welcome. Thanks, Nikki. Thanks, Crystal. Thanks, Allison. I do appreciate y'all. Hey, Law Nerd. Thanks for that one. Hey, Puppy Dan. Good morning, Crystal. Hey, Christy. Hey, Banana. So yeah, this is what we're doing. I went live for a few minutes so we could talk before court comes on. So let's pretend that everything goes like this right here. 9 o'clock, the judge comes out. She's like, okay, good morning, everybody. This is what we're doing. Okay, bye, jury. And then it goes back to the clock, right? Okay, so what would happen then is I'm going to go ahead. Hey, Shayna, I'm going to go ahead and run my errands. Like, I'm hoping to do this like ASAP so that I can be at the house for verdict watch the rest of the day. You see what I'm saying? And I'll be in the chat room, checking in, that kind of thing. Hey, Emily, good morning. How are you? Thank you for being here. And so that's kind of it. Now, let's say they come out and they're like, oh my gosh, we've had drama. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Well, then we'll kind of see what's going on with it. You know what I mean? So there's that. Now, also, I am currently on the other computer on the other screen right now, setting up the live chat for tonight at 7 o'clock with Gossip Rumor Innuendo Kathy. So that'll be a separate live chat. It'll post here in a second after I finish filling out the stuff and put the thumbnail up. But we're going to dish on that. And I also saw... let me get the names right again. I'm blanking here. Josh Ritter from Courtroom Confidential. I was mixing all those names up. And Dr. Barry, you're going to go live, I think, at 8 o'clock tonight and talk about maybe the verdict and whatnot. In my world, I feel like we'll have a verdict today. If we don't, I'm going to get nervous, but not too nervous. So I think he's going to be convicted with something. I'm probably leaning towards second degree, right? So there's that. As to what I think the jury will do. Now, obviously, I think he had some premeditation to it. I think he's first degree, but we'll see how the jury piece the story together. Because as we've talked before, I'm so in the thick of it, I can't tell how the jury would view this case. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like I know too much about it. So to me, and again, to me, I'm like, even if he started planning this the day before, see what I'm saying? I think he was sifting around with the idea, and it just kind of was like, here we go, we're in it. And it was ill planned, but still it was planned. This to me was not I came home, found my lover in bed with somebody, and pulled the trigger. You know, This was not that. There was more planning to it, but clearly, it was, what poor planning, right? Banana says, I think he was stewing while Jim was there, and he confronted Anna right after he left, allegedly, in my opinion. Yeah, see, even something like that, literally, is how I think it went, right? I think Brian is somebody who probably always has an iron, which, I mean, most of us do in some level, but it's just, what is it, right? I think Brian always has a plot, always has a scheme, always has a something. How do you say, a poker in the fire, right? Yeah. And so do I think he was sitting here like, yeah, you know what I'll do? I'll do this, and I'll fight them over. Then when they leave, I'll do that. I don't think it was that planned out, right? I think it was, thanks, Liz. I think it was more like what Banana just said, a blend of the two. But that's all it takes for that first degree. But again, I could see the jury being like, definitely second, but not first, right? So, yeah. I just think he was that type person. So, and obviously too, even if he planned it out, and I'm talking like pretend we're talking planning like let's talk about Corey Richens. Let's talk about that kind of planning, right? Yeah, Kathy says the electronic data from Thanksgiving to Christmas would have shown planning even more than hide the phone days prior. Exactly. I think we would have seen, because he was so obvious about what he was doing on the phone, right? I think we would have seen major evidence. I'm talking smack you across the face, right? Like literally, Google search would be, I'm planning to kill my wife, top 10 ways to do it and plan for it. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's that stupid, right? Rob Reiner and his wife were killed by their son. So terrible. I was like, what? Bro, the man who brought us misery and so many movies. I didn't know that they were having so many struggles at home, with their son, or however the situation went, but apparently something really terrible went down. I was just like, oh my gosh, to find out they were dead. And then to find out that the son killed them. And I was like, I didn't know the son was, I mean, it's not like I keep up with Rob Reiner, right? It's not like I keep up with him in that context, but still, I don't know. Hey, NRH, how's it? No, they do not like me to say hey. It triggers them, boys. I can say hey. That doesn't mean someone's in the house. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I can say that word. We just went and played. We just went on our walk. We've had our food, all the things, and they are wound up. Arr, 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 arr. Okay, let's go on. We got Yorkie talk going on. Watch this. Hey, how's it going? Hey there. I think they definitely associate it with my customer service voice, like at the door. Hey, how are you? Good boy. So we don't have to bark. Hey, how are you? Good boy. See, that's all. It's so silly. Come here. It's okay. I know. But yeah, so what for people just joining, what we're doing is we are waiting on court to start. So sometimes judges don't even do a live stream, or you know what I mean? They just address the court, like the jury comes in and immediately goes out and does their thing. So we might not even get something coming up. But regardless of what's going to happen is hey Amy, is they will, whatever they decide in court, I'm going to run my errands in the morning, so I'm around the house for the rest of the day for verdict watch. So if it pops off, right? Because if I wait to go do my errands in the afternoon, that's 100% when whatever happens will happen. Yeah, Ginger says, I like the Yorkie talk. Their opinions are important. I agree. Thank you. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I got up really early this morning, which I usually naturally wake up like between 3:30 and 4. And this morning I got up at 4, did all the stuff, and then was like, okay, put gym clothes on, ate my oatmeal, and then I was like, I gotta sit back down. And so we got back on the sofa and snoozed to about 7. Oh, yeah, let's do a poll. What kind of poll do y'all want? Please hold. Please hold. Currently working on a poll. Please hold. Should we do a guilty, not guilty, hung jury? I just naturally wake up really early, but I also go to bed fairly early. I don't know. Last night I went to bed like 11, which is really late for me. No. Guilty, not guilty. Hung jury. Star poll. None of that fancy credentialed stuff. Just here for the cringe binge. Now, later today, I'm filming my video on Rebecca Parks. And then once we have this situated, I'll schedule the next live where we go over more of that information. I'm already starting to yawn again. Goodness gracious. I have not watched the Jacob Pritchett disappearance. I haven't even heard of that, Kristen. I have to look that up. Mom claims he never existed. Yeah, I've never even heard of that one. Okay, what was it? Okay, let me finish doing Kathy's stream. I said none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I said I'm just here for the cringe binge. Oh, here it is. Okay, public entertainment, schedule for later. Kathy's already done it. Okay, now I need to come back over here to Canva. Boom. No, not that one. We need to talk about Brian Walshe. That's what we'll call it. And then file, and then download. I say, hey, none of that fancy credentials stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey. We're gonna upload the thumbnail, because that's what we do. Selling is service, and service is selling. Because selling is service, and service is selling. Okay. So now we're going to leave. Oh, wait, this is going to 2 different things, I think. Okay, right. I said none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I said I'm just here for the cringe binge. I said, hey. Oh, welcome to the Self Squad. Okay. Okay, let me get out of here. So the thing with Kathy is scheduled. Let me refresh. I don't understand. Where did it go? I don't understand. Where is my stapler? I need my stapler. Upcoming. Okay, see up there it is. Okay, so Kathy and Paul. Oh wait, I need to work on that. Hush. I mean, boys. Okay, let's go back in here. Let's do this, and let's do this, and let's enter the studio. Edit. Kathy and Paul dish on the Brian Walshe trial. Okay, we did this, we did this, we did this. Yes. Save changes. Okay. We're going to do that. Come back over here. Come back over here. Boom. Okay. Now, there we are. So let's see. Also, let's go into let's go to the inside the courtroom. Please hold. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just I'm scrolling through X to see if anyone from the courtroom is talking about, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what the jury's doing. So far, nothing. Does anybody know of any major reporters who are in the courtroom, like Brian Enting kind of vibes? Service is selling. That guy's name was Happy Pete in that silly Service is Selling music video. Gabby Ash Trevino. Oh, what's up with Ash Trevino? I said service is selling. Selling a service. Latest. So this is what I'm thinking. Oh yeah, I went down the Ash Trevino rabbit hole hard. Oh my god, like when it was like really popping off. Um and Yeah, I can't wait. I've not watched Kathy's video on them. In fact, I'm gonna go whatever she put out, I'll listen to that when I'm running my errands so that I can talk about it tonight with her. I'm very intrigued to see what she has to say. Um, yeah, Ash Trevino, I went down that rabbit hole and I was just like, whoa. I mean, it's oh my gosh, gutter, right? In fact, let me go look up Kathy so I can get it pulled up on my phone. Well, a couple of things. First of all, let me go here and here and here and here and gossip. Kathy said, selling is service, and service is selling. You said it was a live chat? Yeah, it is cold. It is cold, y'all. So, y'all, this is what we're gonna do. I haven't seen anything confirming this, but I would almost just guarantee you that this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. I'm sure the jury is out, meaning they've convened and done this. So I'm gonna go run my errands. I'm gonna keep chat going. I'm gonna be in the chat. I'm gonna get my errands done so I can get back and kind of be at the house and ready for verdict watch. Um, if something major pops off while I'm out, Emily, will you like text or call me? Um, if I'm not like in the chat, because I mean, obviously, since I'm going to be driving and stuff, I won't be sitting there glued to it the whole time. Um, but we'll just see, right? I mean, that's what we'll do. And I'm going to leave the courtroom TV stream up. Um, so if you're sitting here with it going or whatever, just prepare yourself, like noise wise, is what I mean. And then I'm going to go to YouTube right now and I'm going to pull this up. And I'm going to pull up my own channel, Reporting Live from My Sofa podcast. Boom. Because I said, selling is service. Service is, I say guilty. So 91% say guilty, 1% says not guilty, 8% says, what do you call it? So 91% hung jury. And just always remember this, everybody. Selling is service, and service is selling. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the boys are gonna stay, but they're going down in their sectioned off area of the kitchen front door area. I can't if I can't. It actually probably would be interesting to see what drama they would stir up in here. We definitely know that the carpet, they already have a hole in the carpet in here. They would, yeah, they'd be up here, they'd be on, dogsgonewild.com. They'd be ordering DoorDash. They'd be like, go to PetSmart and get the stuff, the expensive stuff from the freezer section. I know, right? Banana says that song's gonna be stuck in my brain all day. Same, right? Okay, so Kathy live at 7, running to a couple of errands, coming back, live stream, texting or call if it pops off. I'll see y'all in chat. In fact, you know what? Let me make sure it's working. There we are. See, I'm in 2 places. Whoa, what's going on? Scared, confused. All right, Seven Squad. So let's cross our fingers that we hear back from the jury soon. I love y'all, and we'll be back here shortly.
Good morning, Your Honor. Continuation of the jury trial in Commonwealth versus Brian Walshe, indictment 2023-0091. Defendant and counsel are present in court. Counsel, if you'd once again identify yourselves for the court in the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Greg Connor for the Commonwealth.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ann Yaz for the Commonwealth.
Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor. Tracy Cusick for the Commonwealth.
Welcome.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. Kelly Porges on behalf of Mr. Walsh.
Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor. Larry Tipton for Mr. Walsh.
Good morning to everyone. We had a little delayed start because one of our jurors is absent today, luckily. Is juror number 15, who is an alternate juror. I'll see counsel at the side of the bench.
Jurors entering, all rise.
Hear, all person having anything to do before the Honorable Diane Fernier, Justice of the Norfolk Superior Court. Draw near, give your attendance, and shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth. May be seated. Court is in session.
morning, jurors.
Good morning.
Jurors, I'll start today. Hope you all had a nice weekend. We'll start today, as we have every morning of this trial, with the 4 questions. Jurors were able to comply with my order that you not speak to anyone about this case.
Yes.
Were able to comply with my order that you not do any research about this case.
Yes.
Be able to comply with my order that you not go on social media or any news media.
Yes.
And you all still have open minds.
Yes.
Jurors, you may have noticed that we were delayed in starting today, and juror number 15, who is an alternate juror, is not here today for purely personal reasons. And it has nothing to do with this case and shouldn't impact your day in any way. But I didn't want to not make mention of the fact that juror number 15 isn't here, because then you might be wondering. It's purely personal, nothing related to this case. All right. So with that, jurors, I'll send you back to your deliberations. Thank you very much.
Jurors exiting, all rise. Please bring your notebooks with you. Watch your step.
Follow me, please.
Just remind you of the 10-minute rule. Always be within 10 minutes of the courthouse. Thank you.
All rise.
Juror number 15, who is an alternate juror, is not here today for purely personal reasons. And it has nothing to do with this case and shouldn't impact your day in any way. But I did want to not make mention of the fact that juror number 15 isn't here, because then you might be wondering. It's purely personal, nothing related to this case. All right. So with that, jurors, I'll send you back to your deliberations. Thank you very much.
Jurors exiting, all rise. Please bring your notebooks with you.
And you heard the judge. So that's what was going on with the absence with the juror. An alternate juror
nothing relating to this case, just purely personal reasons, not here today, but that's not going to affect a thing. They're an alternate. So the judge said, keep on working. So with that, they were sent back into the jury room just moments ago. We're going to start our clock up here on Court TV Live as we continue on that verdict watch for you. In the meantime, we follow big breaking news this morning out of California. We have a team en route there now that's going to be providing updates for us throughout the day. This is heartbreaking news. The stabbing deaths of movie director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner. So the family confirmed the identities with a statement, and we know that multiple law enforcement sources are confirming that this stabbing took place. However, what's coming exclusively from People magazine is that the alleged killer is the couple's son, Nick. Again, that is source reporting coming from People magazine. That is something that law enforcement has not yet confirmed. So we're waiting on confirmation from that. But we know that the call came in around 3:30 on Sunday, the discovery of the bodies happening in the late afternoon. We know that Nick is being questioned right now by authorities. We're told he's not under arrest and no arrests have been made. We know that Rob Reiner had a long career in Hollywood. You may have remembered him as playing Meathead on All in the Family. He went on to direct some of the greatest movies of our time, When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, A Few Good Men, just to name a few. Stand By Me. He is one of the most prolific directors in Hollywood. And his wife was a videographer. We understand. Just very creative individuals and have 3 children together as we understand it. We know that their home is in the Brentwood area as well, about a mile, we are told, from the home where Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman were killed back in 1994. Rob Reiner was 78 years old. His wife, Michelle, 68 years old. Homicide detectives at the scene, the mayor in Los Angeles, Karen Bass, issued a statement. She said, quote, "I am heartbroken by this tragic loss of Rob and his wife, Michelle. I knew Rob. I have tremendous respect for him. An acclaimed director, actor, producer, writer, and engaged political activist. He always used his gifts in service of others." Now, again, I mentioned we have our Court TV team en route there. As soon as they're on the ground ready to give us an update, they will. Right now, I want to bring in former investigator and former prosecutor, high-profile attorney and lawmaker Tommy Pope to weigh in here. Tommy, in terms of what investigators are doing right now in that interview room with Nick Reiner, what do you think the conversation is like?
Julie, I was thinking it's according really what the crime scene was like. In other words, I remember, and I'm dating myself again now, years ago, Court TV covered a death penalty case I had with James Robertson where he killed both his parents. He killed his mother with a knife while Dad was in the shower and then sprayed Dad in the face with Tilex and beat him with a hammer after he got out because he knew he couldn't handle them both at one time. So the dynamics of the scene are one question. In that case, James Robertson tried to make it look like a burglary. He even went to the point of writing notes that said he was leaving to go visit his brother up in Pennsylvania. It was kind of sloppily done. He broke out a window, but broke it up from the inside out. But anyway, so my point being, according to the scene and whether it looked staged or whether, it looked angry or, whatever, whatever law enforcement's got in hand, that's what they're going to be dealing with. And, as long as the son's talking to them, they have to pick, try to gather as much information as possible because as we all know, if the son decides not to say anything and asserts his right, then the interrogation's over. And so, again, there's a lot we don't know forensically what's going on in the scene, and I think that'll drive, Julie, what comes of the interrogation.
Mm-hmm. Great points, Tommy. when we think about this, the why, I think, is the first question that comes to mind. Why? How could, especially when you're talking about something allegedly that occurred at the hands of a family member. Again, source reporting from People magazine, LAPD, not yet confirming this. I saw reporting from Perez Hilton, again, source reporting that this young man, Eric Reiner, struggled with substance abuse and with homelessness, two very sad things that might be at issue here. How do those things play in, if at all, Tommy, when you're in the interrogation room with the suspect?
Julie, it's interesting because that combination of factors can come so many different ways. When we have homelessness, because you think, how could Rob Reiner's kids, have homelessness? Well, a lot of times that's tied to mental health issues too. And so you have that issue. Then you have the drug issue. Going back to the Robertson case, he was abusing Ritalin. To the extent he was homeless, it was because his parents were putting him out of the house because he ultimately killed them to get the inheritance. And so there's a lot at play there, Julie. Like you said, the drugs part. I mean, and sometimes I remember when crack cocaine first started, when I was working in narcotics, people would be stealing from their own parents just to go buy more crack. And so, perhaps he went for a loan for money for the drugs, for example, and perhaps they had to show some tough love and he blew up. Again, there's so many things that we see every day on court TV that play the various motivations and factors. And law enforcement's, again, got to be delicate because you want to gather as much information as possible because very well, the only three people that know what really happened were mom, dad, and the son, if he indeed is the perpetrator. And so you've only got one person that can actually share any further information.
Tommy, you're making such excellent and real points from, real life case experience. And I thank you for that. As you were talking, sure. That scenario you put out there is one that I've sadly seen more times than I would like to share, where I would have parents come in, at the magistrate level, and I'd look at the case and it's a home burglary involving their son or daughter who is struggling with addiction problems. And they would say, well, look, I don't want to prosecute them. I don't want them to go to jail. I don't want them to have a felony, but I don't know what else to do. I am at my wit's end because we've given them money. They're stealing. They're going to kill themselves accidentally and overdosing if we don't get them help. They refuse to stay in treatment. And you see parents trying to use the system because they have nowhere else to turn as a way to try to stop the addiction. I mean, it can be so sad, so brutal. It makes children do things at the time that are just unrecognizable to anybody who knew them prior to the suffering. And so, again, we don't know if that's what Nick Reiner was, in fact, suffering from. Again, this is reporting from Perez Hilton. I want to cite him. He's come on Court TV Network a few times in the past and is really all over this story. He also reported that it was one of the other children in the Reiner family, Rob Reiner's daughter, he reported, who found the couple. So again, we're going to continue following this one, bring you more information as these details keep trickling in. Tommy Pope, I'm so glad you're here. Great insight as always. Stand by, please, as we get ready to return to Ohio. We're going to go back to the Hicks case now. We've got some live testimony going on, so that's a live look at the courtroom right now. And as you see, the jury deliberation clock is moving again in the Walshe case. The jury back in the deliberation room will let you know what comes today when we could potentially see a close to this case. We'll be right back.
Tonight on Court TV.
I'm Vinny Politan. Welcome to Closing Arguments. We have a big hour ahead here.
Your deplorable actions are unforgivable.
The community still doesn't know how this Boston police officer died.
He can't prove one element of his case. It was a dramatic day, a dramatic moment inside the courtroom.
What's happening here?
It's unreal. Let me show you exactly what happened.
Closing Arguments with Vinny Politan. Tonight at 8/7 Central. Only on Court TV.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. Let's get you back in the courtroom in Ohio. Testimony now underway in the murder trial of Paul Hicks. He's accused of murdering his wife, Regina, more than 20 years ago. Let's go in together live.
And so this took between 2017 and what year to get this case indicted, get this case to a grand jury?
2025.
Okay. So this wasn't something that just started in 2024?
No.
And this wasn't, was this something that was just started from a tip from a podcaster?
No.
Okay. Now, did you prepare summaries in this case?
Yes.
Did you prepare maps in this case?
Yes.
You have a map, or you have a document in front of you states Exhibit 4H. What is states Exhibit 4H?
It is location specific to the investigation.
Okay. Did you prepare this?
I did.
Okay. And is it true and accurate?
Yes. I should say with the approximation of how close you can get on a map.
Okay. If you can make it a little bit bigger. So. Okay.
I have this one.
Okay, so when we're looking at the map on the, as I'm looking at it on the left. Well, first of all, what appears on the map?
I apologize.
What appears on the map?
Identification of locations.
And what locations did you identify?
Mike Perkins residence, Crystal Hicks residence, Regina Hicks residence, Steve Gates residence, Whetstone residence, and the approximation of body location.
So, Mike Perkins' residence, where was that located at?
221 North Washington.
And what's significance of that? Why did you put that on there?
That was the last known location where Regina Hicks was at.
And then do you see 4463 Townline Road 12 on the map?
Yes.
And what's significance of that address?
That was the location where she was to pick up her son that evening on October 18th.
Who was she?
2001, Regina Hicks was to pick up Montana, her son, from the father, Paul Hicks.
And as the crow flies, what's the difference? What's the distance between 221 North Washington and Steve Gates' property, 4463 Townline Road 12?
Approximately 1.9 miles.
There's also a 304 Dale Avenue. What was the significance of that?
That was Regina Hicks' residence.
And then we have 514 Ash Street. What's the significance of that?
Crystal Hicks, Paul Hicks' sister, resided there, and Paul Hicks was staying with her during that time.
Also on the map, you have the Whetstone residence on Egypt Road. What's the significance of that?
Just to identify the residential location of the two witnesses and compared to where the body was found.
And where was the body found?
In a pond on 1876 Section Line Road 30 in Willard.
And is that also on the map?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the distance between Steve Gates' property, or did you create a distance between Steve Gates' property and the pond?
Yes, we attempted to do an approximate, which would have been around 1.9 miles.
Next, I'm going to direct your attention to State's Exhibit 4I. I'm sorry, 4L. What is Exhibit 4L? Before it's on the screen, what is this?
This is what we call a link or association chart. It's a way for us to identify individuals in the case and look at their relationship or how they're all connected to one another.
Is this true and accurate?
Yes.
And did you create this?
I did.
Okay, so on the left, what appears on the left?
Paul Hicks and his relatives.
And his relatives.
Yes.
Who are the relatives?
That would be Joe Hicks and Crystal Hicks.
Okay, and underneath Paul Hicks, what appears?
Individuals that he had relationships with.
And then,
at the time, I should say.
Okay, now there's a direct line from Paul Hicks to an individual, a male wearing glasses. Who is that?
Steve Gates.
And then next to Steve Gates, to the right of Steve Gates, whose picture is that?
Lori Greer Gates.
And then underneath Steve Gates is a direct line to who is that?
Gail Dean Montoni.
And who's Gail Dean Montoni?
He was an individual who visited Gates's residence and was known to Paul Hicks and to Steve Gates.
And when did he visit the residence?
The day of October 18th of 2001.
And who is to the left of Dean Montoni?
Donna Cox.
Now, on the right-hand side of the chart, who appears?
Relatives and friends of Regina Hicks.
Okay, so who is to the left of Regina Hicks?
Victor Michael Perkins.
And to her right?
Her mother, Lysella Holbrook.
Then underneath Regina, whose pictures appear?
On the right, as you're looking towards the screen, you have her siblings as well as her uncles. On the left, that goes down, starting with Sherry Handshoe, you have friends, known associates of Regina Hicks.
And her siblings would be, what are their names?
Chad and Charles.
And her uncles?
Carl Patrick, Denny Patrick, and Jimmy Patrick.
Okay. And what is States Exhibit 4L used for?
I apologize.
What is States Exhibit 4L used for?
This exhibit is used to easily identify the chart, to identify the relationships between Paul Hicks, Regina Hicks.
What a sad case this is. We'll continue following it on the other side of the break. Also, we're following the Brian Walshe case as the jury is still out, and the developments, heartbreaking developments out of Hollywood in the double homicide of beloved director Rob Reiner and his wife. Welcome to our second hour of Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. We continue following that big breaking news out of Hollywood as police are investigating the stabbing deaths of movie director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner. TMZ is reporting that their son, Nick Reiner, is now in custody. We here at Court TV are working to confirm that. The Reiner family is confirming the deaths of Rob and Michelle through statements. We know authorities got the call around 3:30 p.m. on Sunday and made the discovery of Rob and Michelle's bodies. No arrests have been made, but we do know that Nick Reiner is in custody. So take from that what you will. Maybe it's verbiage choice. I would say, custody sounds like, certainly sounds like an arrest. But, if he's not free to leave, he's in their custody. So we're working to get details on that. We know he was being questioned. So perhaps that questioning turned into an arrest. That's sure what it sounds like at this hour as we have our Court TV team en route to Los Angeles, going to get on the ground there and provide us some reporting. This happened in the Brentwood area, beautiful area, if that sounds familiar to you. We know that was the area where the home of Nicole Brown Simpson was located, where she and Ron Goldman were stabbed to death back in '94. The Brentwood area is where the Reiners had their home. They are parents to 3 children, and son Nick is in custody, according to reporting from TMZ. Court TV is working to confirm that. While we do that, let's talk a little bit about what this investigation looks like. A crime scene to be processed at the Reiner home. We understand that some big stars already showed up to the home in the early hours of the morning. Billy Crystal and Larry David reportedly showing up. As Rob Reiner, we know, had a prolific career in Hollywood. Got to start acting. He played Meathead on All in the Family. You may remember him from that. Went on to direct Stand By Me, When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men. The list goes on and on and on. His wife was a producer and a videographer, so also very talented. This has left Hollywood incredibly shaken. And all of us watching from afar, just wondering why. Let's bring in our law enforcement analyst guest, Sunny Slaughter, on the program this morning. Sunny, let's talk a little bit about the pieces of information that investigators need to be gathering right now.
Good morning, Julie. Such a sad, sad day and weekend as we think about this particular case. Investigators are having to go through every inch of the home to determine exactly where the murders took place and how this happened. They're not focused on the why at the moment, but how things happen, because they have to gather the weapon. They have to look at the entry point, if he was living there or if he came by. And then they have to figure out what were the details that led up to this horrific murder, and if he is in fact the actual perpetrator. While he may be in custody, that might be based on what they have gleaned so far, but these are very unique dynamics in which domestic violence within the family, where a child kills a parent, allegedly, is horrific when it comes to DNA collection, when it comes to access to the homes, access to the weapons, identifying potential other perpetrators that had access to the home, access to the weapons, interviewing with family members, the other children, the neighbors, what did they see, what did they know. There is some evidence and allegations that Nick may have suffered from mental health, may have suffered from drug use and abuse. So they're going to have to roll back the time and the clock and figure out how this incident occurred, when it occurred, get a time frame, and then map it out accordingly, while also trying to preserve the dignity of the the place because it is someone so high profile, but also ensuring that this investigation has significant integrity that cannot be impeached and impeded by any defense counsel. So they have to be measured in what they say, measured in what they do, how they go about processing the crime scene, and how they go about engaging with family members, those close to the family. So I suggest that silence at this time is what is needed and necessary, because we all have seen how quickly words can unravel a case and compromise it in the public, because people want microwave results and not long-term justice.
Well said, Sonny. Let me ask you about something else, and I credit Perez Hilton with this reporting. Trying to get him to come on the show this morning. I know there's a time difference in Los Angeles, but was watching some of his reporting this morning, and he was talking about how sources that he's had in the Hollywood area for years tell him that Nick Reiner struggled with addiction problems. He had substance abuse problems for years that haunted him. Also struggled with homelessness as a result of those addiction problems. And when I heard that, this senseless tragedy started to make a teeny bit of sense if Nick is the perpetrator. Sonny, I'd love your thoughts on that, please.
You know, thank you, Julie, for saying that, because I also have been following that information as well. It does give us a glimpse into the behaviors and the analysis of what Nick was going through, and how two parents, aside from them being Hollywood legends and leaders, how just two parents, a mother and a father and a family, were trying to deal with the unique dynamics that comes with parenting, that comes with relationships as siblings. And then it speaks to how this could have, why this may have occurred, because the instability of an individual can compromise all of their consciousness and all of their sensibility. And this is what happens. As a mother of four, you know, we all want our children to be well and to do well. And I know personally, as many others, that doesn't always happen. And while we are shining lights for the public, we have dark and deep demons that haunt us in our parenting, in our lives, in our relationships with our family. And if these things are true, that's where we should focus our attention.
Excellent points from you, as always, Sonny Slaughter. I'm so glad you're here today. I have other cases I want to ask you about, but of course, as we get any more information about the situation being investigated at the home of beloved director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle, we're going to report it right here. Son Nick reportedly in custody at the LAPD. Does that mean he's not free to go? Does that mean he's been arrested? We're waiting to get more confirmation from police, but TMZ reporting him in custody right now. That tells me he's not free to go. We have our team again en route there to Los Angeles. We're going to have reporting on the ground later today on Court TV. Right now, though, let's go back to Ohio. The drowned wife murder trial is ongoing for defendant Paul Hicks, this guy accused of murdering his wife, Regina. This was a cold case, but now it's heated back up. Let's go back into the courtroom. We have a criminal intelligence analyst from the Ohio AG's office on the stand.
And the other people.
Correct.
Now, you have also in front of you State Exhibit 4I. Right. 4I and 4K. What are State Exhibits 4I and 4K?
They are a chain of events connected to Regina Hicks and Paul Hicks.
Are these summaries?
They are.
Okay. And who created the summaries?
I did.
And how'd you go about creating the summaries?
The information on these was created by investigative reports. They're interviews from Huron County Sheriff's Department during their investigation at the time.
And are they true and accurate?
Yes, to the information that was provided, Jess.
Next, you have in front of you States Exhibits 23A through L. Did you examine phone records?
Yes.
And for what purpose did you examine phone records?
First of all, to look at communications, and secondly, to go through and look at information from witnesses and compare that with phone calls or lack thereof.
And did you create a summaries based upon these phone records?
Yes, I created Excel spreadsheets to make it easier to look at the records because they were obtained during Huron County Sheriff's investigation in 2001. So
I'm just going to have you identify these records that you looked at. States Exhibit 23A, what is that?
Those are Altel records.
And whose Altel records are they?
The subscriber is listed as Steve Gates.
States Exhibit 23B, what records are those?
The carrier on these is Verizon.
And whose records are those?
These records are, I believe, a combination between Crystal Hicks and Mike Perkins, or Victor Mike Perkins.
Exhibit 23C? Or Exhibit 23D? I'm sorry, 23E. Go with 23E.
These are Dobson communication records. And the subscribers on these records was Paul Hicks and Jewel Hicks.
23C?
A customer service agreement for Regina Hicks.
23F?
These are Dobson communication records. These are Regina Hicks phone records.
Okay. 23I?
These are Verizon phone records for Mike Perkins.
23J?
That's a telephone bill breakdown of codes and call types.
And is that a record from the phone company?
It is, from Verizon.
23K?
This is a Verizon special computer search procedures that is provided by Verizon phone carrier.
Is that, and what's the purpose of that?
This usually accompanies back in the 2000s, the billing and legal issues, so on and so forth, that Verizon adheres to.
23L?
These are Verizon phone records for Havana Tavern.
And did you personally read through these phone records?
Yes. This one's. Okay.
23N?
These are.
We'll continue following this trial in Ohio and, of course, the deliberations going on in the trial of Brian Walshe. We thank you for being with us this Monday morning. We'll be right back in just 4 minutes.
Coming soon to Court TV.
A Microsoft executive gunned down. Now his ex and her new husband are charged with his murder.
I'm gonna kill her.
An alleged murder plot involving a family's au pair and the married father she worked for.
A social media sensation, now a suspected killer.
Have something against me.
She wrote a children's book about her husband's death. Now she's accused of killing him.
The high-stakes trials you don't want to miss. Coming soon, only on Court TV.
Hacksaw, the best tool for dismembering a body. Can you be charged with murder without a body? Google search. Disposing of a body in the trash. Google search.
We did find a couple bottles of hydrogen peroxide as well as a knife in a kitchen cabinet. The screening test for blood was positive on this blade.
Doctor, is this the photographing of the piece of metal that you spoke of? Doctor, did you recognize any writing on exhibit 188?
Yes, there was an engraving of Gucci on one side.
I don't want to hide anything from you because if that could lead to finding my wife sooner, that's the most important thing. I wonder my wife. I love my wife.
We continue following the trial of defendant Brian Walshe in Massachusetts. He's accused of murdering his wife, Anna. The jury out for 4 hours and 25 minutes. We're also in Ohio today for the murder trial of defendant Paul Hicks. This guy is accused of murdering his wife, Regina, more than 20 years after her body was found inside of her car in a pond. Let's go back into the courtroom now. On the stand, a criminal intelligence analyst with the Ohio AG's office.
Verizon phone records for Regina Hicks's home. Actually, it was, I believe, Virgin phone records, Verizon, yes, for Regina's home.
Okay. And 23O.
These are Verizon records as well. For Regina Hicks.
How did you go about creating summaries or spreadsheets from all these records?
So an Excel spreadsheet was opened and the original phone records were looked at and the data was inputted into the Excel spreadsheet.
And how does the data get inputted in the spreadsheet?
I input it.
Line by line?
Correct.
And how long did that take?
A little while.
A little while. Have in front of you states exhibits 34M, N, O, and P. What are states exhibits 34M, N, O, and P?
34M, Paul Hicks records. 34N. Here to look at the Regina Hicks records. There's two. And 34O, Steve Gates records, cellular records.
Okay. These are summaries of their phone records.
Yes, it's summaries of the original phone carrier records, correct.
And you put this together?
I put that together.
Okay, and if you verified it's true and accurate?
Yes.
You want like to place exhibit 34M in front of the published exhibit 34M? Oh, you're all right. Okay, so what are we looking at with state exhibit 34M?
A spreadsheet that I created based off of the original cellular phone records that were provided by the initial investigation.
Okay, so for the record, there are columns on this exhibit 34M. What data is in each column?
The first column would be the phone number. Second would be the target number. The target number is what I identify as the subscriber name that's connected to the phone. The date, the time of the call number, the subscriber of the initial phone number or target, and called city. And those were the columns that were mostly on the original records.
So was the subscriber information on the original records?
Yes.
Was Regina Hicks's home, was 419-933-4761? You identified that as Regina Hicks's home phone?
Correct.
Was that identified on the original Dobson records from Paul Hicks's cell phone?
Is the phone number identified? Yes. Is the subscriber automatically in there? No, but the phone number is correct.
And did you get the subscriber name from her phone, from Regina Hicks's phone records?
Yes.
So this exhibit would be a compilation of more than one set of phone records.
Correct.
For example, we have, if you just look at page 1, what is another subscriber on page 1? In addition to Paul Hicks and Regina Hicks's home.
Havana Tavern.
And did you have the Havana Tavern phone records to look at?
I did.
So we have phone number, target number. What does date refer to?
The date that is listed on the phone records as the call.
And time?
The time of the call, whether that's in or out.
And the called number?
Is the number that was dialed at the time.
Called city, you know what that refers to?
That was something that was listed in the original phone records. If it was back then, it was very specific on charging of the city if they could locate it. Towers, obviously nowadays, are a little bit more specific.
Are you familiar with cell phone towers?
Yes.
And what did you learn about cell phone towers?
Since 2001.
Yeah.
They're more specific. They collect certain types of data, whether the sector of the cellular device or the cell tower that's being utilized on the phone carrier that's utilizing it, so on and so forth.
Directing your attention to the phone calls on October 18th, 2001, that appear in this summary. And you have on this sheet you have in front of you as well. What time was the first phone call on October 18th, 2001?
1952, which would be after midnight.
So 12/19/50. Would that be 12/19/52?
It would be.
And what additional phone number was involved in this phone call?
That was a call to Crystal Hicks' home.
And then is there a phone call at 12:58:57?
There is Steve Gates.
Okay, so what happened at 12:58:57?
There's a call that goes out to Steve Gates, and it looks like back then they were able to determine that the city of that call or contact was coming from Norwalk.
Then what happened 4 minutes later?
At 13:55, there was a call to Paul Hicks incoming.
What phone number placed that phone call?
419-706-1593.
Who was that assigned to?
That was assigned.
The phone call at 13:02, 4 minutes after the 12:58 phone call.
That was 419-933-6081, Donna Cox.
You go on to the next page. Is there a phone call at 14:40, which is 2:40 p.m.?
Yes.
And what's involved with that phone call?
That's an incoming call.
And incoming call from whom?
You would have to compare those records to the other records to determine, because that is Paul Hicks's cell phone and an incoming. Just to clarify, back then, and if you look at the original phone records, that's how they decided incoming and outgoing.
Okay, the phone call I'm talking about is the phone call at 14:40:09. what does your summary reflect about that phone call?
That's 144009. I apologize. I was at 46. That was 4196 from Jansen Phibbs.
Okay, and that's a 2:40 in the afternoon.
That is correct. I apologize.
So, what phone call is then placed at 210410? Who are what phones are involved in that call? And that is, what time is 210410?
That's about 9, 10, 11, about 9:04 p.m.
And what phone calls?
There's a call from 419. Jill Hicks.
We're going to step aside from this testimony for just a moment. We're going to hit our break and letting you know we've got some more information coming in. Rob Reiner's son, Nick, has been arrested for the murders of his father and his mother. We're going to have an update for you when we come back. Thanks so much for being with us on this Monday morning. I'm Julie Grant, and this is Court TV Live. Want to take you to Hollywood now. We're continuing following that breaking news. The son of famed director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle is now under arrest. It is official. Nick Reiner is being held on $4 million bond. The Reiner family confirming the deaths of Rob and Michelle through statements. And now we have confirmed that Nick Reiner has been arrested and is being held on $4 million. He is suspected of the deaths of his parents, of stabbing them to death. This is aerial footage. I'm looking at this as you are. This just coming in to our newsroom. Area footage of the Reiner estate, beautiful home that they shared in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. You can see the lights up around the home. We have our team en route as we're speaking to Los Angeles to provide you with reporting throughout the day on the ground. Rob Reiner, 78 years old, his wife Michelle, a producer and videographer, 68 years old, and their son Nick is being held on $4 million bail, arrested in this double homicide. Police say they were stabbed to death in their home and found on Sunday afternoon around 3:30 Pacific time is when the call came in to first responders, finding this beloved Hollywood couple deceased in their home, killed at the hands of someone else. Was it their son? That is the question. He certainly has raised the suspicions of police, and they obviously have enough probable cause to make his arrest. Let's bring in our law enforcement analyst, Sonny Slaughter. Sonny, you've been with us through the hour. We've seen the progression. We were getting word that he was being questioned. Then we were hearing the word custody thrown around. Now it is official, arrested, and bail has been set. The accusation here being that he took the lives of his own mother and father. Sonny, your reaction, please.
Oh, Julie, it's breathtaking that this is now confirmed that he is not in custody. He is currently under arrest, and that the bail amount is $4 million. I want to say how painful this is as a parent and as a person just watching from the outside, but understanding these experiences. I also want to remind the public that oftentimes when we have children, as individuals and those that help, the community help raise, who have troubles, mental health and drug abuse and criminal activity. Oftentimes parents can be shamed if they do not react in the way that others want them to. People think that because they are your children, that you should just kind of stay the course. And that may have been what happened, that they were trying to stay the course as parents. But we often talk about in domestic violence situations that we have to retreat as victims to gain safety. But we don't think about that in the same way when we talk about parent and child relationships, where those relationships are unsafe and they are unhealthy. This is a tragedy for the family. This is a tragedy for the friends. This is a reminder for the community and for the public that some relationships are unhealthy. And as a parent, I know personally, sometimes you cannot be the one to save your own child.
Sonny, you said that so well. It's a sad reality. Drug addiction, alcohol addiction, it plagues our country. And there is reporting, as I noted before, I want to note it again, coming from Perez Hilton in his source reporting that Nick Reiner had struggled for many years with substance abuse problems and homelessness as a result of those addiction problems. And as we're talking, Sonny, I have some information that not only has he been arrested, but he has already been lodged in the Los Angeles County Jail. We're looking at the Sheriff's Department's Inmate Information Center, and it appears that at 7 o'clock Pacific time, so this was just a short time ago, it's 10:30 here in the East, that he was lodged. And so they've got a booking number for him already. He's 32 years old. This is a photo of him with his dad that we've been sharing for you. And what I'm seeing on the Sheriff's Department's information sheet is that the arrest technically happened yesterday on the 14th, and that he was booked on the 15th. So it could happen. My guess is that in the wee hours, of the night, the change happened in the booking because we know it was in the afternoon that the call came in. So he was picked up at some point on Sunday and then lodged this morning, right around 7 o'clock is when I see this information hitting the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Inmate Information Center. They don't have the specific charges, but what we can glean from the facts we know, investigators, are investigating this as a double homicide. We know this is a felony that he's lodged on. We know the LAPD's gang unit is investigating this. Not saying that he's part of a gang, not saying that. I'm just saying that's who was called out to work this case. And we're waiting to get the specifics on the charges. And this is just as bad as it gets. Sonny, also so close to the holidays, this happening. I mean, this is a tragedy any time of year. Nobody wants this to happen. Yet also this time of year, when we're extra sentimental, you see the holiday lights around the house as well. It's chilling, isn't it, my friend?
It really, really is. It's heartbreaking because anytime around the holidays, when there's a death, when there's a murder, it is a constant reminder every single year. But I also wanted to go back to what you said about the gang unit. That would make sense. I'm the former co-chair of the National Opioid Caucus under Health and Human Services. And the gang unit, because if he was involved in potential drug use and abuse and the homelessness, that might be the unit that would have the most information about where, if all of this information is true, and I want to be clear about that, where he got his drugs from, what he was involved in, but it doesn't mean that he was necessarily involved in a gang. But it does have the similar threads of the investigative processes for looking, apprehension, potential drug use, abuse, and known associates or anything like that. Because remember, he was connected to a financed family, and if he owed someone money, there's a lot of threads that we'll have to pull. But I do have to commend law enforcement for holding this case close to the vest, for doing what they needed to do from an investigative standpoint, and for finding him, doing what they needed as far as keeping information quiet, close, and then following a process that has less taint from the public about, whether this is the individual, whether he was questioned properly. All of those things will roll out later, but I do commend them for what they have done in executing the arrest, the seizure, and moving this homicide investigation forward.
Yes, Sonny, yes, they've acted quickly, and thank goodness, because if Nick Reiner did this, if he killed his mom and his dad, then you can never know where he would have gone next or what he would have done next. As you know, if he was on a path of destruction, this could have been deadly for other people. And so, as you said, thank goodness law enforcement acted as quickly as they did, getting to the person they believe is responsible for these killings. Sonny, we thank you for the insights. Again, our team en route there, we're going to have live updates for you throughout the day as soon as they are on the ground. We'll keep you posted as any more information comes in. But Nick Reiner behind bars on $4 million bond. As we head to break, of course, we're sending our good thoughts and prayers to the Reiner family. Rob Reiner, beloved Hollywood director, his wife, Michelle, killed on Sunday. We'll be right back with more testimony in the drowned wife murder trial and deliberations in Massachusetts in the Brian Walshe case.
Tonight on Court TV.
I'm Vinny Politan. Welcome to Closing Arguments. We have a big hour ahead here.
Your deplorable actions are unforgivable.
The community still doesn't know how this Boston police officer died.
He can't prove one element of his case. It was a dramatic day, a dramatic moment inside the courtroom.
What's happening here?
It's unreal. Let me show you exactly what happened.
Closing Arguments with Vinny Politan. Tonight at 8/7 Central. Only on Court TV.
There's no evidence that Regina Hicks was driving that vehicle. There's no evidence that Regina Hicks floated from the passenger seat, from the driver's seat to the passenger seat, which is what would have had to happen if she was going to commit suicide. Her relatives will also tell you when they saw her that day, she was not suicidal.
Was this a case of domestic violence? Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. Let's get you back in the courtroom. This is the trial of Paul Hicks. He's accused of murdering his ex-wife, Regina. We've got a criminal intelligence analyst on the stand.
And after that, approximately a minute later.
Regina Hicks at 21:05:32. And that's a call 12, going out, I believe. They were both outgoing calls.
And what about at 21:06:34?
Oh, that's also an outgoing call to Regina Hicks's home from Paul Hicks' cell.
Are there any phone calls? This Paul Hicks' cell phone records reflect any phone calls during the 8 o'clock hour or the 20 hour of on October 18th, 2001.
Could you repeat the times again? I apologize.
8 o'clock, from 8 to 9.
No.
And what time was the last call made prior to 8 o'clock based upon these phone records?
The last call that was made, it appears on 10/18 of 2001, 18:15:43 to 419, which had been identified as Moose.
Okay, there's two. What was the last call made before 8 o'clock at night on the 18th day of October, 2001?
There was an incoming call at 19:53:40.
So that's the last incoming call.
That is correct.
The last outgoing calls at what time?
Prior to that, that's going to be Willard, the Moose call at 18:15:43.
And after 8 o'clock, what is the next outgoing call?
21:04:10 to Jewel Hicks's home, followed by the 21:05:33 to Regina Hicks's cell, followed by the call to Regina Hicks's home.
So from 18:15:43 to 21:04:10, how many hours is that?
18 to 21. Approximately 3, give or take, minutes.
And how many phone calls were placed from this phone during that 3-hour period of time?
Are you incoming or out?
How many phone calls were placed from this phone during that 3-hour period of time?
3, 4.
How many phone calls were placed by this phone during this 3-hour period of time?
So from at 18:15, there was a call to the Moose. And if you're looking at the totality of all of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there is 7 in total, regardless of incoming or outgoing. And there is outgoing 18:15, and then you have 21:04, 21:05.
How many hours between 18:15 and 21:04?
A little over 2 hours, maybe.
Almost 3 hours.
Yeah, approximate.
So were any phone calls placed from Paul Hicks' cell phone between 18:15 and 21:04? Any outgoing calls?
To 21:04?
Correct.
18:50 incoming. You have 1. Because you have incoming, you have the Moose, which is out.
I'm telling you.
Yep, you have the Moose that's out. That's
There's an
1.
outgoing phone call from 18:15:43. You see that?
That's correct.
The next outgoing phone call is like a
You gotta go, yeah, go down.
is at
21:04. Is that 21:04?
Are there any outgoing phone calls between 18:15 and 21:04?
No. No.
Thank you. And how long of a period of time elapsed between those two outgoing phone calls?
Approximately 3 hours.
Now, directing your attention to State's Exhibit 34N.
You're welcome.
What is State's Exhibit 34N?
These are Regina Hicks cellular records.
Is this a summary of Regina Hicks's cell phone records?
Yes,
And who prepared this summary?
I did.
It was prepared the same way you prepared Paul Hicks's summary.
Yes,
And is it true and accurate?
yes.
Your Honor, I want to publish State's Exhibit 34N. Okay. Are there columns located on this summary?
Yes.
And if you can explain what's in each column.
Column A is answer date, B, answer time, C, call duration, D, calling full number, E, subscriber.
And what is F?
F, called full number, G is subscriber, H is terminating full number, I is first originating trunk, J is first terminating trunk, K is the trunk address location if it was provided by the phone carrier.
Do you know what an originating?
Regina get justice after all these years. We'll continue following this trial in Ohio, and we're following the jury in Massachusetts. We've just surpassed the 5-hour mark in the deliberations in the case against Brian Walshe.
nursing home care.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Ted Rowlands. Good to be with you on this Monday, kicking off another week. And we're going to start it in Dedham, Massachusetts. Busy day, obviously. What a weekend it was in terms of news. We're monitoring the latest with the murder of Rob and Michelle Reiner out in Los Angeles. Nick Reiner, their son, now in custody there. We're also in Massachusetts, and that's where we're going to start. Brian Walshe, this jury's still working. A lot of people thought, all right, Friday they would get the case, and Friday they'd deliver a guilty verdict because of the overwhelming evidence against him, accused, of course, of killing and dismembering his wife, Anna. Well, that's not the case. They're still working. 5 hours and ticking. Prosecutors aren't buying his story that he said he found his wife dead and didn't know what to do about it. Didn't know if, oh, should I call 9? No, I'm going to chop her up. So this jury is grappling with this very aggressive defense. Some don't believe a word of it, but obviously this jury is very thorough. We'll give them that. As soon as we have any movement in the courtroom, we'll head there live. But right now, let's go to Dedham. And that's where we find Court TV crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson. A lot of anticipation now, Matt. They had the weekend, did this jury. Sometimes they'll come back after a weekend off and boom, have a verdict. Not yet. Set the scene, if you would.
Yeah, you know, Ted, all eyes on the courthouse here behind me. Day 2 of deliberations. We're now crossing officially that 5-hour mark for this jury. 6 men, 6 women, deciding the fate of Brian Walshe. He was dressed in a suit today, looking back at his mother quite a bit today, who was seated in the gallery as the judge looked at each member of the jury and got a verbal response from them. Again, those questions that we hear each and every day, that they didn't talk to anybody about the case and that they are keeping an open mind. Well, they're considering a lot of evidence over 48 witnesses that testified over 8 days in this case, this murder trial against him. It was very interesting because there was a delay start in day 2 of deliberations, about 30 minutes behind schedule, because one of the alternate jurors had a family emergency and was unable to attend the courthouse today, attend the waiting period as we're all waiting for questions and possibly a verdict to come down today. But then the jury was sent back to that deliberating room where they are again considering all of the evidence. Also of note, again, Mama Walshe in the gallery, seated right in front of me. She seemed to not understand how the proceedings work. The judge in all of this telling all parties to be within a 10-minute shot of the courthouse in case there is any questions or if we do have that resolution and that verdict. And she was asking the defense attorneys something to the nature of, what if she leaves the area? And I heard the defense attorneys say, you know, you're told to be within 10 minutes and we can't ask the judge to wait for you. So that was an interesting point that happened earlier today, Ted.
Yeah, there she is. You can see the resemblance between her and her son. Key evidence. Let's talk about that because, you know, this jury has been at it a while. And to your point, there was a lot to go over. So it may be that they're going and sifting and you know, everybody's weighing in on the different evidence that we have seen play out. Take us through some of the key evidence, if you would, Matt.
Well, you know, there was a lot of key evidence coming in by the way of testimony. Again, testimony from 48 witnesses, all brought forth by the Commonwealth. The defense did not put on a case. This defendant did not take the stand in his own defense. But some of those people included, of course, the investigators who were searching for Anna's body and being lied to by this defendant. He admitted to that. And also the people that were searching for her after her disappearance, including her former boss that spent New Year's Eve with the couple. He testified on the last day. We also heard from her former best friend who was really concerned about the couple and had suspected that the couple was really in trouble, and she was worried about Anna and her mental health and the nature of their relationship. And then her former lover that took the stand, William Fastow, that was talking about he was worried what was going to happen to Anna if Brian Walshe found out that they were having that secret love affair. Listen to part of his testimony.
Did you and Anna discuss how Brian Walshe reacted to Anna not being
in Cohasset on Christmas Eve and getting there later on Christmas Day?
She told me that they had an argument about it, and there were some points of contention. His inability to resolve his criminal case, and the fact that because of that, she couldn't be with her children and bring them back to Washington, D.C., and the fact that it felt like it was holding up her life.
Now let's talk about all the physical evidence that this jury, 6 men and 6 women, are considering right now. They asked to see some photographs of some of the key evidence in the case, including a photograph of Anna Walshe on a rug that was inside the Cohasset home. They wanted to get a close-up view of that. They also wanted to see photographs of some of the blood clots that were collected from the trash. Remember, there was a lot of evidence that was destroyed and also thrown in dumpsters in the Boston area. Again, this defendant admitted to doing that as well. But he also bought hundreds of dollars worth of cleaning supplies at area Lowe's and Home Depot. That's some of the evidence in the case, the surveillance video of him tossing those bags in dumpsters, and then the tools with Anna Walsh's blood connected to those tools, a hatchet, snips, and a saw. But remember, this defendant has already pled guilty to misleading police and dismembering his wife's body. Here is what that jury is considering at this time. It's just the first-degree murder charge with a lesser of second-degree murder. So if he is found guilty of first-degree murder, that's life without the possibility of parole. Second-degree murder, he could be eligible for parole on this one issue of after serving 15 to 25 years behind bars. But again, he's already going to be spending a lot of time behind bars for his federal crimes, selling fake Andy Warhols, for these other charges that he pled guilty to, Ted. So even if he's found not guilty on the murder, he's not walking out of the courtroom a free man.
No, yeah, chopping up your wife is illegal, and he's admitted to that. So you're absolutely right there. All right, Matt, stand by, and we'll check back in with Matt if there's anything from this jury. Matt will be with us throughout the day. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and former district attorney Matthew Mangino. Happy Monday to you, Matthew. 5 hours, 12, it's not an eternity. It's given the amount of evidence that was presented. What's your take on the jury still at it, not wanting to go home Friday night and resolve this thing?
Well, Ted, when we had talked about this before, and I know you have mentioned it multiple times, it's really a defense that stretches the limits of credibility or believability. I know that as we look at this case and we try to figure out exactly what these jurors are thinking about or what they're going through, there's a lot of evidence, and they maybe want to be meticulous about that evidence and go through that evidence piece by piece to make sure that they're doing, so to speak, their due diligence. But I really would find it incredible if this jury didn't come back with a guilty verdict of first-degree murder.
Yeah, in your experience, sometimes you get a four-person, don't you, that really wants to go over the evidence. Let's start here. Let's move on to this and that. That could be what's going on.
Yeah, there's no question that could be what this jury is doing. I mean, jurors have a responsibility, and they take that responsibility very seriously. So in this situation, there's a lot of evidence, as Matt had said earlier, I think with 48 witnesses. So there's a lot to go through. And this jury is being meticulous and wants to make sure that they don't overlook anything. And that's what a jury should do. I mean, regardless of what you might think at the outset, what conclusion you might come into that jury room with, you should have an open mind to listen to the evidence and make a decision. But in this situation, ultimately, that decision is going to be based on the facts, and the facts are really sort of outrageous in this case.
The idea that the Commonwealth, oh, they can't prove how she died. Well, that's because he admittedly, he took her body away. He stole that opportunity through his actions, through his decisions. But do you think, because this was the defense, right? The defense is, well, she died by this mysterious illness. Is there a chance a juror or two may have bought this thing hook, line, and sinker? I mean, his defense attorney was something else, especially in the close.
Well, yeah, I think it's important to recognize that we don't know the cause and manner of death in this case. And that's really kind of a cornerstone in any homicide prosecution. But what we do know is we have a version of events that suggest that a husband finds his wife deceased and for unexplained reasons. And he doesn't call an ambulance. He doesn't call the police. He doesn't do any of that. He decides that his best option is to chop her body up and hide it in different parts of the community. That's really a stretch. I mean, jurors have to believe that that would be a rational reaction to finding your spouse deceased. And I think that's a stretch.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a huge stretch, but here we are. We'll see. Stranger things have happened. Of course, you know, even if they're hung, the Commonwealth will be retrying this one. You can imagine that. Let's get a break. When we come back, we'll continue to monitor everything in Dedham, Massachusetts. We're also monitoring what is happening in Los Angeles. Will there be a press conference? We're monitoring it in terms of the announcement of Nick Reiner, now in custody, being held on $4 million bail. Also, this case, Ohio versus Paul Hicks. We'll head back to that courtroom as we wait any word from that Massachusetts jury.
I'm Vinny Politan. Welcome to Closing Arguments.
What's happening here?
It's unreal. Let me show you exactly what happened.
Closing Arguments with Vinny Politan, tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
'Tis the season for true crime. Each morning, we'll dive into a case that took place around the holidays. Join us for the 12 days of holiday crimes.
Opening statements with Julie Grant, mornings at 8/7 Central on Court TV.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. Busy day here, a busy Monday, kicking off a new week. Here's a look at some of the cases that we are watching today throughout the country. In Massachusetts, the jury's been deliberating now for over 5:22 exactly in the Brian Walshe case. We'll take you to the courtroom. Matt Johnson is there. He will alert us immediately if the jury has a question or a verdict. In Florida, closing arguments underway in the penalty phase for Jason Baregas. He's the man who pled guilty to the October 2021 murder of a Hollywood police officer. We'll monitor that. We could be going into that courtroom as well for those closings. In Ohio, it's day 4 of testimony in the case against Paul Hicks. He's accused of drowning his estranged wife, Regina, in a car nearly 25 years ago. Before we go to that courtroom to pick up testimony, let's get you caught up on the case against Paul Hicks.
Directly from where I'm standing, if you look ahead, 4 rows back is Regina's grave. It's eerie to think that you've seen her playing with her baby here, and now you're looking at a tombstone.
Regina Rowe Hicks went missing on October 18th, 2001, after witnesses reported seeing her leave her boyfriend's home to pick up her son. Officials say she never arrived at her destination and was instead found dead in the passenger seat of her car when police searched a nearby pond. With no strong leads, the case would go cold for 24 years.
It was hard on everybody, but it really hurt my mom real bad because she couldn't get justice.
Hicks' mother spent the last 5 years of her life keeping Regina's case alive. And in November of 2024, state investigators were brought in to search the land where Regina's home once stood.
I told him, yeah, if you can find anything to give closure to this, it's worth it.
The Ohio Attorney General's office says a fresh look at the investigation led to the victim's estranged husband. In April of 2025, Paul Hicks was arrested in the cold case. Hicks is charged with 3 counts of murder and 1 count of kidnapping. He's pled not guilty. Prosecutors said in court documents that they intend to present evidence of a strained relationship as an alleged motive, including evidence that Regina intended to end the marriage and allegations that Paul threatened to kill her. Paul's lawyers declined to comment on the allegations. If convicted, Hicks could spend the rest of his life in prison. All right, let's head to that courtroom now and pick up some testimony. This is a criminal intelligence analyst on the stand.
Back in 2001, it would be the location of where the tower was that connected.
And what's the terminating trunk?
That would identify the location of the trunk or terminal where that call ended.
And then there's a column that says trunk address location. What does that refer to?
If the cellular phone company provided the address to the location of those trunks, they would identify that in that column of their records.
So does the trunk address location refer to the originating trunk or the terminating trunk?
It refers to the originating trunk usually.
For the subscriber information, where did the subscriber information come from?
It came from the original phone carrier records.
Let's direct your attention to the phone calls on the 18th day of October 2001. What time was the first call placed?
052 or after midnight.
And what additional phone number was involved with that?
Hardy's 419.
Do you know the significance of Hardy's?
I don't recall.
Do you recall where Mike Perkins worked?
Hardy's.
And so is there a call placed at 2:39 in the afternoon?
Yes.
And who was called? But who are the parties to that conversation or the call?
Regina Hicks, the cell phone contacted Jewel's home.
Then at 15, then at, what time is 15:07?
3:07 p.m.
And was there a phone call placed at 3:07 p.m.?
Yes.
And how long did it last?
1 minute and 88 seconds.
And what additional phone number was involved in that call?
419. It would be Sherry Hanshoe. There we go. 419.
So what does that mean?
That means there was communication between Regina's cellular phone and her friend Sherry Hanshoe's phone at the time.
So Regina called Sherry Hanshoe.
That's correct.
What's the next phone call?
It's easier for me to see it up there than on here. It's tiny on here. Well, there was calls with 0 durations. One was the one at 1640. Jewel Hicks contacting Regina Hicks.
The phone call at 1700 hours.
Which was approximately 32 minutes. That was a call from Regina Hicks to Paul Hicks's cellular number.
Is it 32 minutes or 32 seconds?
That's 32 seconds, 0.32.
The call directly above that
Yes,
at 16:59, a minute before, was that an incoming or an outgoing call?
from Regina Hicks's phone.
Yes.
That was an outgoing call.
And who did Regina Hicks, what phone did Regina Hicks call?
Paul Hicks.
So the phone call at 16:59, how long did that last?
0. There, no connect.
And then there's a phone call a minute later between, from Regina Hicks to Paul Hicks?
Correct.
And what address was that phone call routed through?
206 Woodland Avenue, Willard, Ohio.
Then is there a phone call placed at 1929?
Yes.
Okay, and is that the next phone call after the phone call at 1700 hours?
Yes.
What time is 1929?
7:29 p.m.
So at 7:29 p.m., what happened with respect to Regina Hicks's cell phone?
Regina Hicks's cell phone contacts Paul Hicks's cellular phone.
And what was the duration of that call?
0.65 seconds is how they listed him.
And what was the address of the cell tower that routed that phone call?
206 Woodland Avenue, Willard, Ohio.
Next, what happened at 1932 hours?
There was a call placed from Regina Hicks's cellular phone to Lacella Holbrook's phone number.
And who's Lacella Holbrook?
That is Regina Hicks's mother.
And how long was that phone call for?
1 minute and 38 seconds.
Then what happened at 1953?
Regina Hicks's cellular phone contacted Paul Hicks's cellular phone.
Okay, and what time is 1953?
7:53 p.m.
And what cell tower routed that phone call?
206 Woodland Avenue, Willard, Ohio.
And what was the duration of that phone call?
0.27
So what's that mean?
seconds.
27 seconds? Okay. Are there any more phone calls placed by Regina Hicks's phone after that phone call to Paul Hicks's phone at 7:53 in the evening?
No.
Are there incoming calls?
Yes.
And who are the people that are placing the incoming calls to Regina Hicks?
Mike Perkins, Lacella Holbrook, Crystal Hicks, Paul Hicks.
Now, Crystal Hicks, is that her landline?
Yes, I do believe so.
And who was living at Crystal Hicks's house on the 18th of October 2001?
Paul Hicks, her brother.
And how many phone calls are made by the Crystal Hicks phone number to Regina's cell?
There's 2 calls.
Okay. And there's how many calls from Paul Hicks's cell phone to Regina's cell?
There's one call.
State Exhibit 350 or 340.
Which is
Where's State Exhibit 340?
These are Steve Gates cellular records.
And were these records created the same way that the prior 2 summaries were?
Yes.
And it's a true and accurate summary? If you could publish 340. No objection. Okay, what columns appear on the summary of Steve Gates' cell phone, which is State Exhibit 340?
A target column, target name column, date, time of call, call city, state, call destination, subscriber. And there should be a minute second.
The subscriber information, how is that derived in the subscriber column?
The subscriber information was identified by Huron County's initial request for the phone records.
So it's from the phone records?
Correct.
If you could scroll down to,
All right, we're going to slip out a commercial break. When we come back, Rob Reiner and his wife both murdered. Now we know by their son. We'll have the very latest on this shocking double murder in Hollywood when we return. Back to Court TV Live, busy Monday, and what a weekend it was in the world of news and crime. A heartbreaking weekend, including the story out of
Yo, did I actually come in here at the exact right time when they stopped the clock? So, yeah, there's no sound, like my sound's on right now for the courtroom, but there's no they don't have any volume in there right now. You see what I'm saying? Hello, everybody. Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. People are saying they have a verdict. Can you imagine that? I just walked in. Isn't that crazy? I walked in, walked the dogs. Now the groceries are in the garage. Totally fine. They can sit there. It's freezing cold. See, I knew it. I was like, go ahead and get this done. I hope everybody's been well. Let's give a round of applause for the mods for keeping the channel and sofa safe and fluff while I've been running all over town, getting all my morning stuff done. I could not do that without y'all, and I greatly appreciate it. The boys had a little romp around the whole house while I was gone. Isn't that right, boys? Say yeah. They're hard to contain with the little gates. They can squeeze. They're like little mice. They can squeeze through the most amazing spots. I'm just like, what? Okay, I need to send Shayna something. Please hold while the Sofa Squad convenes. Your call is important. Please hold. Okay, NRH says Walshe is being brought to the courtroom. I said, hey now, don't dream it's over. Just catching up with everything over here. Okay, let's see here. Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody just coming in. So we have motion in the courtroom. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Ginger. Hey, Audra. NRH says that Brian is being brought back to the courtroom. It could be a question. It could be a verdict. We don't know. This is a very exciting time for people. They get real, whatever. What if they came back and said we're deadlocked? What if they came back and said we're deadlocked? Hello, Trash Panda Mom. I love your name. Yeah, they could be like, look, hey, Tori, how's it going? They could be like, look, we were sitting in there talking. They started talking about all these places Brian was going, and they were like, oh, yeah, the Lowe's. And then somebody was like, oh, yeah, I go to that Lowe's. Little Caesar's Pizza's next door. And then we started talking about pizza. And then we were like, okay, now we want pizza. And so we were wondering, like, could we get lunch early? And I'd be like, hey, I get it. Hey, I get it. So everybody, what we are going to be doing is seeing if the verdict is in, number one. Number two, if it is, we're going to be talking about said verdict. Regina's is the original pizza in Boston. I've never been above Maryland, so I would love to have authentic. Well, first of all, is Boston, like, what is authentic Boston pizza? Is it really thick, like really thick crust, or is that Chicago? Oh, I would be the juror. I'd be like, look, I can deliberate all day long, but I'm just going to need a few things. I'm going to need Starbucks, Coke Zero, water, a nearby restroom, food, snacks. There is a verdict. Verdict. Oh, my God. Verdict. Oh, my God. Verdict. Hello, Amy. Yeah, we've got a verdict. That was just so everybody knows. Here we go. Oh, my gosh. Nobody say it in the room. If they play it early on another channel.
We're back on the record in the matter of Commonwealth versus Walshe.
The jury's reached a verdict.
No spoilers, everybody. And I'll say this to people, if you don't want to know, don't look at the chat room. Just don't look at it. I'm not going to say anything. I don't know what it is. I don't even know if this is behind. One of the jurors has asked for a Starbucks run before the verdict. I'd be like, absolutely not. I'd be like, you better get them one of those glass bottles from the grocery store, from the convenience store. So everybody just join in. We have a verdict. We have a verdict. I think it's a matter of what guilty verdict is it? The ultimate or second degree or whatever?
Entering, all rise.
There we go, y'all. There we go. Everybody, this is a very exciting moment. No spoilers. If you don't want anyone, in case somebody runs in here and says what it is that they can find out earlier if they're in the courtroom, whatever, don't look at the chat room. I'm not going to say anything until we hear what the jury says.
Will the deliberating jurors and the defendant please remain standing? Everyone else in the courtroom may be seated.
Your Honor, may I inquire?
You may.
Mr. Foreperson, in the matter of the Commonwealth versus Brian Walshe, have the deliberating jurors reached a unanimous verdict?
We have.
There we
Thank you,
go.
sir. If you could hand that to the court officer, please.
Here we go, y'all. It's happening. I thought they were going to be like, come back in 2 hours. I can't believe I just walked in the door. So perfect. Judge is looking at it. Judge is like, listen. Go on, show us his face.
Your Honor, may the verdict be recorded.
Yes.
It may.
Mr. Foreperson, in the matter of the Commonwealth versus Brian Walshe, Norfolk Superior Court Criminal Indictment Number 2023-0091. As to count one, wherein the defendant Brian Walshe is charged with murder in the first degree, what say the jury? Is the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Guilty of what, sir?
Murder in the first degree.
Murder in the first degree, so say you, Mr. Foreperson.
I do.
Guilty of murder in the first degree, so say all deliberating jurors.
I do.
Thank you. If you could hand that back to the court officer, please.
This time we move to poll the jurors.
The jury may be.
Wow.
Juror number one.
Dang.
As to the verdict of murder in the first degree.
Whoa.
Is that your verdict? Yes. Juror number two, is that your verdict?
Holy
Juror number three,
McMolly,
is that
y'all.
your verdict?
Yes.
Juror
This
number
is
four,
crazy.
as to the charge of
I mean,
murder in
it's
the first
good.
degree, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Mr. Foreperson, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Is that your verdict?
Yeah.
Go on, let's drop some electric
Juror in
chairs.
seat number 8, is that your verdict?
It's electric.
Juror in seat
Boogie,
number
boogie,
9,
boogie,
is that your
boogie.
verdict? Juror in seat number 10, is that your verdict? Juror in seat number...
She WrestleMania'd
Is
him.
that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror in seat number 14, is that your verdict? Yes. And
Case
last juror,
closed.
Is that your verdict? Yes. Your Honor, all jurors answer affirmatively that the guilty of
It's
first degree
electric.
is their verdict.
The verdict may be recorded. Please
Thank
be
you.
seated.
He's probably suffering major narcissistic injury right now. That's
I
a
want to thank you for your service on this case. I know that it went a little bit more quickly than we were expecting, but your service has been substantial. We're in the third week of this trial, and I appreciate all you did to be obedient to those rules that I placed on you and for your conscientious service as jurors in this case. I will be back to meet with you privately in a moment. You should feel a weight lifting off of you right now as I'm releasing of you of those requirements. You can talk to anyone about this case, or no one at all. You can do whatever research you wish to do about the case, or none at all. can go back on social media if you want, news media. And I'm supposed to release you from that burden of being open-minded. But I hope you always go through your lives with open hearts and open minds, new experiences, and new people. I'll be back in just a minute to meet with all of you privately. Thank you very much, Bruce.
Jurors exiting, all rise. Jurors, follow me, please.
Okay. Go on, send some reading for filth. Go on. Man, I can't wait to one of the channels that gets like jurors on has one of them on. I can't wait to hear what they have to say.
When are we going to be in a position to have the victim impact statements and conduct the sentencing in this case?
Your Honor, I believe that we could do it as early as Wednesday of this week, but I believe if it's available to the court, we can also do Thursday or Friday.
Dang.
I know that Friday's definitely not a good day for the court because I have other things scheduled. I anticipated the trial was going to be running, so I scheduled other things, although we could do it Friday morning. Does the defense have any preferences to the timing of the sentencing?
Your Honor, given the Commonwealth's recommendations, we'd actually request Wednesday at any point, if that's possible.
All right, I think it will be. I'll just, the only reason that I wouldn't do it on Wednesday is I do want the victim impact statements, regardless of the implications of the jury's verdict. It may have bearing on my sentencing on the other counts to which he pled guilty.
Okay, interesting.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Matter is continued to December 17th at 9 a.m. for sentence imposition.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Court stands in recess.
Thanks, everyone.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Brian's over there. He's like, man, I feel really stupid. He's feeling humbled. He is feeling humbled. Yeah. Feeling kind of stupid right now.
Oh, great. Wait around. Oh, thank you.
The lawyer's like, we didn't see it coming. We're just as shocked as you are, Brian. He wants to cry. Do you blame him? There's that court TV guy. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. So for people just joining, we have a guilty verdict. We have a guilty verdict. Okay, we have a guilty verdict, everybody. We have a guilty verdict, everybody. We are also going to be doing sentencing on Wednesday, everybody. We're going to be doing sentencing on Wednesday, everybody. Also, Kathy and I are going live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time to discuss the verdict and the case. Okay, it's going to be toe up. Okay. So yeah, first degree, y'all. Wow. 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 I mean, I'm just like, wow. So there you go. Oh, well, thank you. Let's get rid of that banner. Let's get rid of the banner. That is right. We'll have some manners. So we have a guilty verdict of first degree. They found him guilty of first degree murder. They will be sentencing him on Wednesday. They'll be sentencing him on Wednesday for first degree murder charges. So yeah, what you want to do with that? Big thank you to the mods who have been hanging out on the sofa this whole time, enabling us to be able to stream this in this way and me to still get all my regular life stuff done. Y'all are amazing. As well as to the Sofa Squad, who is amazing and always is really cool with each other and makes conversations in the chat room nice, and we greatly appreciate it. MLS says, breaking news. We didn't snooze. breaking news, Brian was going to lose. So yeah, we got first degree murder charges. Wow. Yeah, this is always so nice watching these trials.
And they went through the law, and
Here we
they
go.
came up with a verdict of guilt, first degree murder, and I think that was the right decision.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you. Again, Brian Walshe, guilty of first-degree murder. That is life without parole in the state of Massachusetts, which
he's done.
He will be sentenced to, but not before the victim impact statements. And the judge alluded to that. Both sides are agreeing to Wednesday, and we, of course, will watch those take place. You can bet that Jim Mutlu, William
let me ask you this. I'm
Fastow,
going to mute this for 1
others that we
second.
saw take this.
Okay, so this is what I'm doing. So I can leave the stream going here for a little bit, and whatever that's coming up, like the after conversations and stuff like that, if y'all want to hang out in the chat, I'm basically got to go like get my groceries in, make my little, what at this point, lunch, make my lunch, record a video, So what would y'all like to do? Would you like to just keep this running for a little bit? Are y'all cool being like, no, we're going to kind of tune out? Because I'll just be kind of coming and going or whatever. I mean, we're going to talk for a minute, but like, what's the vibe here? What's the vibe here? So for people just joining, we have a guilty of first degree murder charge. Sentencing will be on Wednesday. From the sounds of what Court TV just said, it is a life without parole. So there you go. Here out. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll have to go right. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll chat for a minute, and then we'll just end the live chat. And then that way we don't have to check in with it. We can all kind of be like, take a breather, right? Again, thank you everybody for making the chat room enjoyable and able to function with me coming and going and all that stuff. That's amazing. That's what makes the Sofa Squad. We love y'all. So I appreciate y'all. So yeah, honestly, I was thinking second degree. I really was. I was just like, you know what? I bet they have somebody on the jury who's going to be like, we technically weren't there. You know what I mean? We didn't see him do blank. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, they're going to do second degree. So when they came out with first, which to me, like, okay, so me knowing all the stuff I know, I'm like, oh, please, first degree. Right. Absolutely. And I'm not, like we discussed earlier. No, I don't think Brian was planning this, like this, cooperative kind of thing, for months. No, but there was pre-plan in it because, a lot of times with first degree murder, it's like, did the person stop and think for 1 second before they did this? There's premeditation. I think this was like a simmering in his mind and then started to kind of formulate. And then it just kind of, it was looking for a catalyst to happen, if that makes sense, right? He started piecing all this together and seeing like, oh God, I've got this going on. She's going up to here. I'm going to be doing this. I've already got this thing coming up with my home confinement. You see what I'm saying? And again, he always has a grift going. And again, she was a possession. I think the kids were possessions. I think some dude like him, Landon, someone like Anna, who's beautiful, driven, successful, great personality, but him and his mom being tied up with her, she was so far above them. No wonder the mom didn't like her. Thanks, Kel, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. So yeah, I'm very pleased with the verdict. I really was expecting second. I was like, watch. But even if he got second, I was like, oh, the judge is going to stack these charges. You know what I'm saying? Now, we'll see what drama he pulls talking about ineffective counsel or this, that, the other, or whatever. Because he's going to pull drama. So he's going to be going off to prison to do his little grift. He's probably already got a honey bun grift going. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, I know. I can't wait to see his mom and her reaction. I still haven't been able to go to I'm just going to wait for Kathy to tell me what the tea is tonight. In fact, I'm going to text her right now. Hold on. I'm going to tell her because I'll forget. Everyone is telling me that I need to hear about the tea that you served about the people who were at the trial. I'm going to wait for you to tell me about it so I have an in-the-moment reaction. Okay. Sorry, I was like doing that. Voice to text. I'm at that stage where voice to text and the voice messages is really good for me. I constantly hit the keys wrong. And a squirrel. The thing, and also in this, so obviously the children are victims. Their dad wiped their mother out, right? At least if he was going to had to have killed Anna, at least he's been made an absolute donkey butt out of in this trial, right? It's like everyone saw him for what he was. Because I imagine that there was moments where Anna was like, am I crazy? I thought I said this. Am I crazy? Why is this? You know what I'm saying? You know how these type people do where they gaslight you all the time and make you think you're crazy? And it's like, no, girl, we see, right? We all see what you've gone through for however many years with this piece of you know what, right? It's just like we see him for what he is. Number one, a bumbling idiot. Number two, just hairball. Hairball, he is guilty of first-degree murder. Sentencing is on Wednesday. And so, yeah, we'll be streaming Wednesday again, y'all. For sure. I don't know what time it is. I assume 9 o'clock, but we'll see what the judge does. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, he was very lucky to have gotten her. And I didn't deserve her, obviously, right? He killed her. So there you go. Okay, so I'm going to end this at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Kathy and I are going to hang out and talk about the verdict, about the case, about all the drama. So there you go. Thank you, mods. Thank you, squad. It's been a pleasure watching this with y'all until the next thing that we stream. So what we'll do also is I'm going to work on this. We will be, maybe even tomorrow night. Was tomorrow Tuesday? We'll pick back up with the Rebecca Park case because there's other stuff for this channel that I want to do with that to watch together. So like the court hearing, yada, yada, yada. There you go. So we'll figure all that out later. Oh, thank you, Mo Henderson. I appreciate that. Thank you for being part of the group. And thank you for the compliment. And thank you for the super sticker or super chat. I can never tell the difference. It's very sweet of you. Thank you, mods. So let's close out with Slow Morrison's Ode to the Sofa. I love you guys. I will see you tonight at 7 o'clock. Y'all have a lovely, lovely day. And until then, we'll see you.
The pillows are fluffed thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough. Join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Bert's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Ooh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.